What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron from Geekonomics, and I'm back for another video. And today we got My Hero Academia manga. So let's talk about chapter 325 of the My Hero Academia manga. And you know, it was kind of a slow paced chapter, nothing too crazy, but it was a lot of motion because, as we all know, with everything that happened with Deku coming back to UA and the civilians not wanting him there, and now we get to see the civilians like really sort of get their reaction, get their point of view out. And it was really a good sight to see because I think Horikoshi, Horikoshi is just amazing when it comes to just writing nowadays. But you get to see the point of view of the civilians and how they feel about everything, and you understand them because if you were in their shoes, you want to be safe. You don't want to be attacked by All For One and Shigaraki after what you saw Shigaraki and them do at those two cities. Like, you don't want to be a part of that. You don't want to be killed because them dudes do not care. They will come in there and massacre everybody. And who's to say the security is good enough? But you see just how being good to people, what it will do to you in return, and just being good to a few people, what happened in return. And so you see the people that Deku was good to, that he protected, that little kid back in that little arc where it was like a little field trip arc, whatever, where the class 1A, they went on a little field trip, but then the League of Villains, they sort of hijacked it, and they had Muscular come in that joint, and it was like the little kid and Deku was protecting the little kid, and he defeated Muscular, but Deku was all banged up and everything. And so you see the little kid there, and it's sort of reminiscent of, I believe it was the first or second episode when Deku was crying after he saved Bakugo, I think that's what it was. And it's just reminiscent of that, of when Deku was saving Bakugo, and now the kid is trying to save Deku. And so it was just a beautiful sight. That was very beautiful because it just shows you what good deeds will do for you. And then you see the little giant sort of deer looking lady. I guess she's a deer. I don't know what the hell she is. But you see how giant she is. And just seeing her trying to save Deku as well. Trying to cheer him up after what he did for her. Because she was ostracized. She was discriminated against because of her looks, because of just how she looked, and nobody really wanted to really take her in and protect her as well. And so just seeing all of the things that Deku has done, all the good things that Deku has done, and finally get rewarded for it was a beautiful sight, because you just see Deku's growth as a character and just that sort of Spider-Man quality. Like, it sort of reminds me, if you guys ever watched the original Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2, and remember when like Spider-Man, he was on, I believe it was the metro, the subway, whatever, and he was like beaten like really bad, but I think it was Dr. Octopus looking for him, and Spider-Man, I think he was beaten like really bad, but the civilians sort of helped him up, whatever, and sort of like give him like a boost of confidence, and he was able to save all of them. So it reminded me of something like that, right? Where it's like, you know, all the good deeds that this guy has done, although, yeah, the villains are looking for him, the villains are trying to come after him and all that and so forth, there's still a few people that really appreciate what he has done and thank him for all the good deeds that he's done for them. So that's just what it reminds me of. Deku, people say he's like Spider-Man, so that, you know, just seeing that analogy itself, it really just comes full circle and you understand just the Spider-Man reference. But then you also see one of his classmates, I forgot, the class president, I forgot his name, saying, hey, it's not our moment, you know what I mean? Because all of his friends were trying to intervene, but no, civilians' moment, let them talk, let them get whatever they want out, and they did, and they came to a compromise. They all came to a compromise, like, okay, we'll let them stay, you know, get a bath, get a shower, eat, you know, take care of your mental health, but then you gotta go. Like, you gotta go because you're a ticking time bomb, and the League of Villains, the Revolutionary Army, Shigaraki, and All For One are looking for you. And we ain't got time for you to be here the whole time. It's beautifully written. I love how Horikoshi really, like, you really sort of like sympathize with the civilians, but you also sympathize with Deku as well. And so you get both sides of the coin, right? And it wasn't done in a way that felt real corny and cheesy. It really felt realistic in a sense, right? It really felt like if this happened in the real world, this is how it will play. You see with Aizawa, right? They showed Aizawa and his situation. He has the little eye patch. He has the little metal foot. And I believe he said that, yo, it's time to go. Like, let's make our move. Like, and I was just like, okay, things about to get real. Like, we not stopping from here. Like, we not just gonna sit by and do nothing. Like, no, we're gonna continue to go. And I can't wait. Like, this got me excited. Like, bro, My Hero Academia in the manga is just heat. And just seeing Aizawa say that, I'm like, all right, let's get it popping. But yeah, great chapter as always, phenomenally written. And what do you guys think about the chapter? I loved it. Did you guys love it? You know, comment down below. Thank you guys for watching, and peace. My Hero Academia manga, I am going to be talking about the next chapter, and what a beautiful chapter. Horikoshi in his bag once again, and this time this is about All Might. This is a chapter about All Might and just everything that has happened with him and how he is coping with just not having his powers and not being able to do anything. And man, this is just beautiful what Horikoshi is doing. And All Might, you know, he really reminds me of Steve Rogers and Clark Kent. And obviously his makeup is of Superman in a sense, but it also reminds me of Steve Rogers in terms of, if you watch the MCU, Captain America, and just how he acts and just the way that he internalizes different things. It just really reminds me of him. And you just see All Might going to his little statue, seeing people saying, I'm not here, and it's really getting to him because he really wishes that he wasn't powerless anymore, that he could do something. And all of a sudden you see Stain, which is a perfect person to be in this instant because he admires All Might. That's the one hero that Stain actually respects because he understands that All Might, he's not a phony. All Might, he's willing to give up anything to protect anybody. And he's not doing it for the money. He's not doing it for the publicity. He's actually doing it because he actually wants to help people. And Stain really respects All Might for that. And so having Stain, the guy that killed all of those heroes because, again, he didn't respect any of those heroes and thought they were phonies, having him there, giving him like the sort of pep talk, whatever, to All Might, saying like, hey, if you were the real All Might wouldn't be sobbing like this. All Might would still be figuring out a way where he could help people in a sense. And I just love that because Stain is one of those, he's an interesting character in himself. Yeah, he murdered people, but in a way, you see why he did it. It's not like one of those, he's a psychotic, well, he is kind of psychotic, but he's not this type of person that does it for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, when you look at All For One, we don't really know why All For One is just blatantly killing heroes. Like, he's just blatantly evil. Like, he's just evil in a sense. But with Stain, there's something to it. There's some morality to his thinking. And Stain being there and just looking at All Might saying, I don't know who you are, you're not the real All Might, and just calling All Might's bluff because, again, All Might, that's not who he is. That's not how he originally acts. Like, All Might is always Mr. Optimistic. All Might is always trying to figure out a way to solve the problem itself. And seeing All Might not being that way, being pessimistic, being down in the dumps, feeling useless, feeling like
he can't do nothing for society, Stain was furious about it. And I understand it, because that is his idol. That is somebody that he admires. And so you see that, and you see just All Might and Stain looking at the civilian, the last person that All Might saved against All for One. And it was just beautifully executed, and it just shows that people still believe in All Might and still appreciate what All Might has done for the community. And you see the lady taking down the sign that says, "I'm not here." Really, just a sign that disrespects everything about All Might. And you just see her being appreciative, like the last few chapters with Deku, when you saw the little kid from the little class 1A field trip, and the lady that Deku also saved as well, who was ostracized and discriminated against. The same is being applied for All Might. So one chapter was about Deku, people, 2 people were helping Deku out. Now this chapter is about somebody helping somebody helping All Might out. And it's just beautiful. It's just beautifully executed. I absolutely love it. And you also see that although All Might has lost his abilities, his strength ability, in terms of his ability to understanding his surroundings, understanding the mood of different people, he was saying, "Yo, I didn't sense any sort of bloodlust from Stain." You know what I mean? He still has that sort of mental aspect of a hero. So that hasn't dwindled at all. It still has there. And then also when Stain draws his sword, All Might, he wasn't scared or anything. He didn't feel hesitant or scared that Stain was going to attack him. So he still has, those instincts are still there, which is really dope, because it just shows that All Might, he wasn't just strong, he was actually very smart and very instinctive when it came to his abilities. So it just shows why he was the #1 hero. So overall, it was just a dope chapter. The art was just phenomenal as always. Horikoshi is just A1 when it comes to the art. And I can't wait for the next chapter. I can't wait for the next couple of chapters and the next dozens of chapters, because it just continues to get better and better and better. And All Might is a phenomenally written character. Just seeing what he has become, how he has lost his power, and just how he was able to cope with that. And you just see the relationship between All Might and Deku, and just the similarities between the two, and just how they think. And it really is similar in a way. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter, and can't wait to read some more My Hero Academia manga just like me. Thank you guys for watching the video, and peace.